Horizontal septum, and what it does is it separates the muscle segments above or on the dorsal side of the shark to the ventral ones. Okay, so each muscle segment is known as a myomere, and they're separated by these white connective tissue pieces called myosepta. So the dorsal ones have myomeres and myosepta, and the ventral ones have myomeres and myosepta. The myomeres that are above the horizontal septum are called epaxils. The ones below the horizontal septum are called hypaxils. Okay? If we move forward, we can see, first of all, that you have this dorsal, or not dorsal fin, but pectoral fin muscle. This is the one that takes the fin away from the midline. So it's the pectoral abductor. The ventral side, you can kind of see it right there, is the ventral adductor. So as we move anterior, we can see that there are the gill slits here, and there's a myomere associated with each one of these gill slits, okay? And these myomeres are called the dorsal superficial constrictors, and when they contract, they pull these slits closed. Okay, bordered on the dorsal edge of these dorsal superficial constrictors is this triangular muscle here. This is called the cucularis. Okay, long ago, ancient sharks had more than 5 gill slits, and the remnants of the dorsal superficial constrictors associated with those many gill slits are these two. Where is it? Are these two groups of muscles here. Okay, so it looks like a rectangle, and it looks like just one muscle, but it's actually 2 muscles. Okay, so this posterior to the spiracle, this muscle is called the levator hyoideus, and this one's called the levator hyomandibuli. Okay, so you have the cucularis, the dorsal superficial constrictors, and the levator hyoideus and levator hyomandibuli. Anterior to those muscles is the spiracle. And the spiracle is actually shut by this wall here, and this wall is actually made of muscle, and that muscle is called the spiracularis. Now, the floor of the spiracularis is a muscle too. See if I can get some connective tissue off there. So the floor region, anterior and dorsal to the spiracularis, is called the levator palatoquadrate. So there's a good angle of it. So here you have, let's go over these muscles again. We have cucularis, dorsal superficial constrictors, levator hyoideus, levator hyomandibularis, spiracularis, levator palatoquadrate. Okay, this big cheek muscle right here is the adductor mandibularis, and it helps shut the jaw. And on this side, on the ventral side, we see that there are also individual myomeres that are associated with these gill slits. These are called the ventral superficial constrictors. Okay, so see each of them there. You can kind of see each of them right here. And they're bordered on the ventral side by these 2 triangles of muscle. These 2 triangles are called the coracoarcules. Okay, if we move anterior, Can you open that door? Sorry. I won't start without you, I promise. Thank you. Okay. All right. So anterior to these coracoarcules are the mandibles. Okay, so they're the quote-unquote jaw, the jaw quote-unquote bones. Okay, so the shark doesn't have, it has cartilaginous skeleton. So I don't know that they're known as bones. But connecting the two sides of the mandible is this sheet of muscle here. And that sheet of muscle is known as the intermandibularis. The intermandibularis is made up of two layers of muscle. The outer layer is the intermandibularis, and when we cut it open and reflect it back, we'll see that the inner layer is called the interhyoideus. So I'm going to attempt to do that. You might want to pause right now, because